I just realized that the last episode I just saw, I was holding.
You're always holding me, so it's weird. I'm like, enjoy.
I said baby, but I'm like, I can't resist. Like, man, I can't resist. Hey guys, it's Mahalia
and Gina,
and welcome to the 10 to 3 podcast.
Oh, I thought we were inserting this.
Oh yeah. Forgot. You probably hear it over me, but that's fine.
There you go, that's fine.
How you doing, Gina?
You know what it is. It is.
You know what he do. You know what we do.
God, what it do?
What he do? I haven't seen that guy in a while.
He's making moves.
Yeah, that's true.
He's making moves.
He's growing beyond TikTok.
I mean, I think he was always destined to be beyond TikTok. Mm-hmm. And there's some people you see that.
But anyways, hope you guys are doing well. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I always forget to say that. So that's why I want to make sure I say that before we get to our topic.
Like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel.
And let us know what you think about this topic, which is about...
Fandoms.
Fandoms.
I think this is a fun topic because when we started this, I was already in a fandom, and then we saw me like
slowly become
like deeper and deeper and deeper into BTS.
Someday when I can, I need to make a compilation of just you talking about
me one time going, okay, so I'm gonna mention BTS, but don't think anything of it. And then I'm
pretty sure we had an episode you just talking about BTS.
But, you know, before I was that deep in just looking back at my K-pop stuff, you know my K-pop stuff used to only take up one box, and now it like spans across.
Bro, I need to like take a picture of it
when I fix it, because right now it's like messy because I've just been throwing everything in because I have too much stuff and I have to go through everything. But right now, I mean, technically it spans across the room. But remember when my Marvel phase used to be the thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
We did also talk about in a previous episode.
We did.
The many phases of Gina.
So I think for now I will officially say the only fandom that I can say I belong to right now, I'm gonna keep it really broad. I'm gonna say K-pop. I kind of like casually listen, but also very much follow the artists that I listen to. I don't always exactly call myself part of the fandom, but before we get into that, what fandoms do you consider yourself to be part of?
Okay, for me, I think the biggest one would be Marvel. Yeah, but then I'd also like even expand it to even DC, because
you definitely are a DC person.
Yeah.
Like, when we used to go to the movies for every release, I'd be like, do we really have to go to the DC one? And you'd be like, Gina.
yeah, I want to go. Besides that, slowly a little bit because of Mandalorian, Star Wars a little bit, but only on that, like on the side area, not the main.
Mandalorian made me open up to Star Wars, but Star Wars fans, and if you a Star Wars fan, don't even at me, because y'all crazy. Y'all be wild for no reason.
Yeah,
well, the prequels aren't a part of it. The sequels, I don't want to hear it. That is exactly why I never gave Star Wars a chance. And then I just randomly decided to watch Mandalorian. And I was like, this is actually really cool. And I started reading all the lore and stuff. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, this is good.
This is so good.
I feel like you kind of went into it, but like, so Marvel, slightly Star Wars, DC big time, and honestly, I think that's basically it, because like I don't like to get into things if I can't dive all the way in. So
I think it used to be like a really deep, like, they don't call them fandoms over here in the West, but like the music side of things.
Oh
like,
yeah,
there's certain artists, producers that I feel like you really follow.
Oh yeah, I'm like a big, like, I used to be like really obsessed with For King and Country. I remember that phase.
What a phase!
Yeah,
what a time!
Yeah, I still kind of am, but like, I don't know.
I took my For King and Country stickers off my laptop and I was like, dang.
I still love you guys. I still love you guys. Ever got to be?
I stopped liking them once the other one got married. I was like, this is done.
It be like that sometimes.
Yes, being single is part of the package.
But that was, what else? And then like a couple producers, like, unfortunately because of the situation, but Gavi, his name is Gavi, he was a producer I really liked a lot. and then like another producer, I forgot his name for some reason. But yeah, but like I just had those phases like it's really into like producer or the artist and stuff like that. So yeah, music. I didn't think about that as counting as a fandom, but I think that's it for me.
If there's a large group of people, a large following, I think it is a fandom. Even if it doesn't always have a name, it is definitely a fandom.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so what do you have besides K-pop?
Okay, so I have K-pop. I don't even like to say I'm part of the Marvel fandom anymore because I don't follow as closely as I used to, which then leads to like the question of like we'll get into it, but how do you know you're a part of a fandom and how are you not part of a fandom? We'll get into that in part 2.
Yeah.
But part 1, just identifying these fandoms. I guess K-pop, especially heavily BTS ARMY, which I didn't identify as for a good couple of years and only recently started saying that I am ARMY last year, even though I've been listening to them for a couple of years. But
wait,
Marvel,
you consider yourself in the ARMY?
In the BTS ARMY? Yeah, now I do.
Oh,
Before
okay.
I didn't.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't really
like for a long time
yeah.
I was like, no I'm not, but we'll get into it in part 2. So Marvel, I'm gonna still say Marvel, yes, I'm gonna say I'm there because I loosely follow. I don't follow as close as I used to follow, but I still like, you know, I'm like oh, like today the Thor trailer dropped.
Oh yeah,
I watched it.
You saw it?
I watched it. I think I watched it like not even 10 minutes after it dropped. I was like, you still too early. You still too
I watched
early.
it like a couple hours after that.
I was like, you still too early for someone who doesn't consider herself part of it anymore.
But side note, what did you think?
I'm excited to see it.
Oh, you are?
I'm excited to see it. Like, I want to see it, but
I was like, okay.
I saw Korg in the trailer, and I was like, hey, Dad.
I'm cool.
It's my buddy. So I got excited for that, and I was like, okay, I want to see it. Even though, honestly, originally I only watched the Thor movies for Loki, and clearly Loki's not a part of that.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. But because I still, like, when stuff drops, I go watch it. Even if it takes me longer to digest, even if I still haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home.
Which I still don't understand why.
I know, because I love Spider-Man so much. Like, every time we would be like, oh, who's your favorite? I'd be like, Spider-Man.
No question.
You know, I still actually still have a lot of Spider-Man stuff, you just can't see it. Like, the only things you can see are my Funko Pops, and I think it's only 2? 1?
I think I have 3 or 4.
I have a couple, but like you can't really tell how much Spider-Man stuff I have because like a lot of it just got kind of packed away because I can't display all my things at the same time.
All your fandoms.
But I used to have all the Marvel shirts. I had the movies, and that entire bin over there is like all Marvel movies. Like,
wait, it's all Marvel? I thought it was.
It's almost all Marvel because
okay.
I only buy movies that I think I'd watch again, and you know this was for some reason. Oh, this was before Disney Plus was over here and before they were like always streaming them on some platform.
Oh yeah.
So if you didn't have Blu-ray or something, you were not
watch
seeing
it. Yeah.
So I bought and like obviously when all this stuff got released, I stopped buying things. But I'm probably still gonna end up buying. No, just 2. Just the Spider-Man movies, even though I did not like Far From Home because I have everything. I literally have every other Spider-Man movie. Literally. You
need to finish the collection.
I almost even ended up having a collection of Spectacular Spider-Man. Like I was gonna have everything.
I remember that.
I was going through a hard and I had to be like, Gina, calm down. I think though that Marvel and K-pop stuff is really the only thing that, but I think that's because that's what I've liked as an adult. When I was a kid, I think I was really into like Jonas Brothers. Like I would be in music fandoms and
I
stuff.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was into that stuff, but I didn't have money and my parents were not.
So it wasn't exactly the same kind of like level of fandom right now.
I would say that young Gina was better at following other people. Like somehow I was able to be a hardcore High School Musical person for so many years. Probably,
I remember that phase too.
Probably up until I was like 19, which was like the 10-year anniversary for it. And then I was like, this movie kind of sucks.
We should watch that. I haven't watched it in a long time.
I literally haven't watched it since the 10-year.
We should watch
it. When Zac Efron didn't go and I was like, you never was a part of the family.
You're just so indifferent.
I was mad. But like I feel like when I was younger I was more like devoted in a sense. Whereas now I'm very like, calm down. You gonna give these people your money? They don't know you. But calm down.
That's a fair argument for like most being a part of any fandom though. That's what my mom be like you're gonna go see that movie? What's that movie gonna do for you?
Yo,
what's that movie gonna do for you?
When I was younger and I used to clown myself and ask my parents to buy concert tickets and buy stuff, and they'd be like, "What's it gonna do for you?" I could have turned around and said that. Actually, low-key, yesterday I went in to go get some rice, and my mom was listening to some dude preach, and we were like, "Mom, what's he saying?" Because the way the guy was preaching was like, I'm like, no, you just have it on because, you just have it on because you're a fan.
Yeah, that's true. They be having them. I just realized we don't talk a lot about the fact, like, our intersectionality and stuff like that, and the fact that we're Haitian. Like, Haitians sometimes, especially when they have, like, my mom not so much, but definitely like my grandma and my dad, when they have preachers or people they like, they listen to them all the time. All the time.
That's fan behavior.
Yes, that is fan behavior. That is
fan. They have this devotion.
But yeah, I'm like, feel like we're going too much.
Yeah, we're going.
That's part.
But it's like, yeah. So I just feel young Gina was much more devoted, whereas older Gina, because, and I believe it is the money spending part. Mm-hmm. Because of the money spending part, I'm like slower to get into stuff, and also like Facts. I feel like it takes time to really be
dedication.
Dedication. Yep. Like when people are back when I was like really into movies, I'm a little less so into movies now. And back in the day, I used to research the directors, research the actors. When did they get into acting? What's something major they were in? Who else did they work with? Like I used to all that before I saw the movie. I
remember you had a notebook too.
I had a notebook. I would rate. I would write reviews. And that's another thing. When you're this hard of a fan, who are you doing this for? But I think it comes down to it's like a happiness thing.
Yeah.
It made me happy.
Yeah, it made you happy. Made you feel good. That for some reason you knew all this information about stuff about people that may never meet you.
I feel like for Marvel. And, I mean, I guess now since I'm a hermit, like, it's not a thing. Also, I don't really own Marvel clothing anymore, but I used to. Like, that was my heavy time into it when I first had money, was my freshman year of college. And my shirts were always conversation starters. Like, I didn't have to worry about, and I think that's the comfort of a fandom, too, is, like, having people, I don't know you, but we're a family.
Yeah, exactly. The second I see that shirt, the second I see that thing on your arm and be like, or something like significant that you can notice and be like, hey, oh my god, you're here today.
I used to have Mjolnir on my keys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Wakanda pendants.
I still have that.
I still have my other keys.
Okay.
And then I had Spider-Man, I had Deadpool, and those are conversation starters. Like I left my keys somewhere one time, and someone goes, you need to come move your keys right now. Like they refused to touch my keys. I was like, oh, because you're not worthy, and I didn't even know the person. Like that's like when you're that, and I think that's how fandom should always function.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, okay, like I never went to the dark side of being part of the Marvel fandom. Where they get cliquey and gatekeep. I'm gonna leave that for the Star Wars fans, and yes, I'm starting some. I don't care.
You ain't lying though.
But that was my favorite thing about considering myself part of the Marvel fandom and being in Marvel. Like, you're never truly alone.
Yeah.
If you go to a movie premiere, you could show up alone, but you're not alone.
Nope.
That was one of my favorite things. When I went to go see Black Panther every day for a week when it first came out.
You did that?
I did.
Oh, wow.
I went every day for the first week that Black Panther was out. I went to go see it. And I only saw it 2 times with other people. 2 times?
Did we go?
No, one time. We didn't end up seeing it together. So I went with my siblings. And that was the last viewing that I went to. So that was the Saturday after. But all the other days, I saw it the first night it dropped, then the next day. Every day I made sure I was in to see it. Like,
wow.
Ooh, they had my money. Actually, no, that was during Movie Pass. R.I.P.
Them days.
But, like, I was never sitting there like, I was laughing with the people around me.
Like, you guys knew each other, yeah.
I remember there was one particular viewing. I always sat in a different spot. I was like, let me switch it up. Let me do something different. So I always sat in a different spot. There was one time I sat, 2 seats away from this dad and his kids. It was a black dad and his kids. And there were just moments in that movie where we would just look at each other and be like, ah!
Yeah, you get it.
I remember one distinct moment was when Killmonger goes, hey, auntie. And we were like, cool. It was not my first time seeing the movie, but I was reacting the same way. We're like, oh, what?
Just because you could go to somebody and relate to them
And
in that
relate.
moment.
And I feel like that's the best thing about being part of a fandom. Like, just not being alone. When Gina and I went to go see... What did we go see? Were you with us when we went to go see No, you weren't. You were.
No, we saw Infinity
War.
Yeah, with
there
my
was
brother,
another
with
movie. There was another movie I went to go see the premiere of, and I went with my little sister. And so embarrassing. In the middle of the movie theater, she goes, "So, when's Wonder Woman coming out?"
It was a Marvel movie?
It was a Marvel movie, because you know I don't go see DC.
Yeah.
Everybody turned their heads. That's DC.
Someone actually said that?
A bunch of people I was like, oh my god.
She didn't come with me. I just saw her in my car.
I was like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing. I was so embarrassed.
I would have been embarrassed.
I was like, that's it. That's the last time. You can't come with me anymore. Because, you know, I was with my people.
Yeah.
I didn't know those people, but they were my people, and she embarrassed me.
Yeah, they were like, wow.
But, you know, no one clowned us. Nobody clowned us.
Okay.
So it was okay.
That's good.
But that's why the Marvel fandom, though, that's a good fandom, okay? And maybe because I never got in that deep into the dark side. Because, you know, when you're really in something, you start to run into the toxic parts.
Yeah.
Like the... actually, like when they compare the movies and the comics, and it's like, I get it. Thank you. Leave me alone. Like, I never really got mixed in with those types of people or saw that.
But okay, so yeah, now I think about it, the dark side of Marvel, I feel like I've kind of dived into that, but I usually avoid it. But
it's on Twitter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
always
usually
stay on
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah, usually on Twitter, or on certain people you follow on YouTube, and then you just go down that hole. Yeah, you go down that hole, and then you go to those pages and stuff like that. But we can keep. So we're gonna keep what necessarily we would define a fandom, but what is it, something like in the fandoms that you're in that you like don't really like? Because I feel like even before we started, I think something happened.
Okay.
And then you're like,
okay,
we're gonna talk about this.
So when it comes to fandoms, the things that I don't like, so like remember when I was saying like you have to really devote your time and like energy and stuff to being a part of a fandom, which is why I'm slow to identify as being part of a fandom. I don't like, and I don't like this for anything, this has been a thing from when I was younger, I don't like when things have too many people, because then there's too many people. Then you have all these different ideas and all these ideologies bumping heads, or having the potential to bump heads. And you have people that do things that are problematic, and you're like, bro, that's problematic, and they don't see it as problematic. For example,
okay, I was listening.
I like BTS. I love BTS. You know, if BTS walked in right now and said, let's go, I'm not asking questions, I'm leaving. What?
That's always like I'm getting a Wattpad book, bro. Like, you just open the door and Gina, let's go. Let's go.
I got kidnapped by Harry Styles. Bro, I never read those stories, but I saw them. I was never a directioner though. That was my sister. But like, I'll never be like, okay, so BTS was just in the USA. They left. They got back to Korea finally, right? And they posted like, hey, we're back, right? Jimin had posted something on Weverse. Hobie commented, and I accidentally opened it. I never open comments when it comes to K-pop anything, really.
Yeah.
Why? Because they are the most pointless comments in my life that I've ever read.
All
like,
of them?
Most of them.
Oh, okay.
I rarely see a helpful comment. Tell me how it's been almost 4 years. I was trying to figure out what this acronym meant for BTS, and I promise you, it's not in their comments. You gotta just find someone who's willing to explain. Because the comments are flooded with purple hearts. Oh my god, I love you. Marry me, Min Yoongi. Listen, Min Yoongi is not reading those comments. Save it for when you talk to him, okay? Save it for when you talk to him. I can't stand when I'm trying to go in the comments and be like, oh, because I like reading comments on things, but I don't like pointless comments. I love you, Min. I love you, Hobie. Min Yoongi, marry me. That's not doing nothing for me. I like when there's comments like, this is why I like being a part of this. I've seen like those very scattered. This is why I like being a part of this, because you know we're in it together, you guys. Yeah. I like, but those
nice and sweet comments.
A comment to another person, not a comment to the artist or the person who's probably not reading. I mean, BTS has said they read comments, and they have said things that also make me like, oh, okay, you're low key, like, you're on the internet lurking.
Yeah.
You see some things, but when you like over flood things, or like when they go live and all you see is, oh my gosh, I love you so much, 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 I love you so much. Say this in English. I love you so much, and it's like. Even if you wanted to ask a real question because they're live and they're seeing the questions, it's like flooded with all this other stuff that you can't.
That's true.
And it's like, they'll be like, okay guys, so how are you doing?
It'll be taking a while.
I'm like, bro, in the music videos, in the interviews, and it's like, let's have some meaningful comments. Otherwise, save the I love you for something else. I promise you, they'll feel your love when you go to their concerts and you yell and scream. That's another thing I hate, but that's another story. But it's like, bro, chill. I don't have that kind of behavior within me.
Yeah.
I think it died with Michael Jackson. That's probably the only person that I would have lost my mind over. But once again, that would only happen in person. Like, I can't, the comments thing, I'm not a comments person. I just can't.
You don't comment on anything at all?
Barely, if ever, no.
Okay.
Because they're not gonna see it. Like, just the sheer, like, the amount of people
that actually
like,
comment.
They're not gonna see it. That's like me going like, hey, let me tweet Kevin Feige right now. Kevin Feige not reading my feed. Kevin Feige's not reading my feed. I remember on
probably
Disney.
intern.
Yeah,
Marvel,
maybe.
Yeah.
I remember tweeting for like months. Disney Plus, I still don't see PB&J Otter. Where's PB&J Otter? Disney Plus. Where's PB&J Otter? Disney Plus not seeing it. Okay, and that's just like, you gotta think of this. Like, they're not. I mean, they run some of their social accounts.
Yeah.
But there's some things they're just not gonna see, so it feels like pointless. Like, why are you flooding this with the I love yous? Why are you flooding it? And then there's the people that start things in comments, and it pisses me off. Like, when they just, like, I'm just not that person. I can't be a cringy fan in an open space.
Ooh, that's a bar, bro. That's a bar.
Hey everyone, Eddie and Mahalia here. In the next few moments, the camera will unfortunately die with us no longer being able to completely finish. I'm so sorry, I forgot to charge the battery for the camera and it died. But don't worry, this talk on fandoms is just one part of the other part we have, so stay tuned for that next time. And as always, don't forget to like the video, give us your thoughts on fandoms. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.